YouTube, yeah, I sure do trust the legacy media. No, I don't, and this is probably a primary example of why. You may have seen reported, it's taken hold on Facebook more than actually in the legacy media itself. I know Time and CNN have both reported on it. Wouldn't be surprised if like ABC and RT and all those others had. They're reporting, oh, Trump has called his fans violent and vicious and cruel at a rally in Orlando, Florida, one of his victory rallies, of course. And if you listen to the sound clip that, in heavily edited form, they helpfully supply, yeah, you'd think that he was calling his fans a bunch of animals. See, the context of the actual words that he said are totally different. What he was actually referring to here was the perception of his fans by the legacy media, the same legacy media that once again is taking everything he's saying here out of context. Wonder why they would do that. Could it be that they wanted to post some cheap clickbait that people wouldn't research any further because they didn't know any better? Yeah, that's probably why. What he was actually talking about was that the media and the establishment cast his supporters as vicious and cruel, chanting lock her up and fighting one another and so forth. Not that he himself actually believes that. However, he did throw something in there that is semi-accurate as far as how the legacy media is concerned with portraying it. And that's that he said, oh, but now you're mellow, you're calm, and basking in the glory of victory. Yeah, that's true. There is a little bit of a fundamental shift in the way that his fans, his hardened fans, those that attend the rallies and, buy the Trump hats and so forth, have acted in the wake of his victory. That being said, that was always the way it was going to be. Yeah, there's a lot of inflammatory shit said during any political campaign. This one wasn't just not an exception, but was probably the key archetype by which all negative campaigns of the future will be judged. This is now the standard of negative campaigning. There was very little said during the whole campaign that was positive by anybody. To the point at which, I think was it the second debate there, when Clinton and Trump were asked to name something positive about the other, Trump, kind of in a roundabout way, insinuated that Hillary Clinton was ruthless and dishonest while applauding her for being so ruthless. And Hillary Clinton had to say, oh, well, I respect Trump's children, his family, because they're obviously stellar individuals. It was surreal. I wish that we could go back to the nights before the debates, just because things were so hyped up, it was so insane. I wish we could watch them over and over again and they'd still sound new, because it was so vastly different from the boring-ass campaign of 2012 or the lopsided campaign of 2008, where, yeah, Obama could get a crowd stirred up. John McCain, he was basically just a fucking punching bag, let's face it, just a retarded neocon who basically, in many counts, said the same things Obama was saying, but he was too old and fruitless to do a good enough job at it to convince people to vote for him, while going into the race with a significant disadvantage of the fact that he'd worked with W. Didn't work too well. Not that Obama's any different. He became W 2.0. Clinton would have been W 2.3. 3.0. Sorry. 2.3. Oh, Jesus. But anyway, no, Trump did not call his supporters cruel and vicious and malicious and concerned with violence. What he was saying is that the media portrayed him that way. But the media is so dishonest, they're actually taking a statement on the legacy media, hashing it about, selectively editing it, and making it sound once again like that was actually what he was saying. I mean, it's the most dishonest thing that I've ever seen. This takes the cake. Even if you assume that Trump is a despicable individual and you hate his guts, certainly you think, probably, that the media should at the very least limit itself to reporting something that is at least close to truth. This isn't even close. It's not even within the same league as the truth. The truth is Trump was attacking the media when he said this. Attacking the political establishment. Not attacking his supporters. You think he's that fucking stupid? Go and watch the entire Orlando rally that he posted, and you'll see a vastly different statement being made than what the minute clip being reported by CNN and these other rags actually contains. Time, link in the description, is the one that I'm getting it from here. I just think it's funny, because of course Time sarcastically declares him the man of the year. if only to insult him for several pages of their dying magazine, and then subsequently pulls this, where they are blatantly and utterly chopping apart what he said for political motives. It's not like veiled thing. It's not veiled as in, well, this person said something that could be taken as off color. We're going to report it as though it was necessarily off color. Could have just been a joke, could have just been something misconstrued or whatever. This is a case of what he actually said in the context was so completely different from what they're reporting on that they're actually attacking a straw man. They're not even attacking anything he said. They're attacking a straw man of their own media manufacture. This is why I say it's fake news. This is quite literally fake news. It's not even what he said. You don't have to like Trump to understand that that's the case. It's just fucking retarded. But then again, the legacy media, the dying media, the lamestream establishment media, that is, has been doing this for months and months and months and months. They haven't let up. It's been a year. They've continued to do this over and over and over again. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who take it seriously enough, so they'll give him a pass. They'll just assume that this is something Trump is saying about his actual supporters, whipping them up into a frenzy, and they'll say, how can anyone stand this dude? He even insults his own fans, the people who voted for him. That's not what he's saying, though. But you're never going to know that if you're just looking at Time or CNN or something like that. You're going to get a completely and utterly skewed story where Trump is a literal maniac. You'd have to be a maniac to think that it was a good idea to do that. But he didn't actually do that. They're really stretching now. They've scraped the bottom of the barrel so much there are holes in it. Now they're peering through to the dirt below, and they're scraping that up too and hoping it'll pass for the real contents. That's how the media has devolved. It's almost sad to watch this. Somebody who, was kind of aware of what was going on in the 90s. There used to be a time when the mainstream media was, if not always trusted, at the very least generally considered to be respectable by most people in society. We're a far cry from that now. That ship sailed back around the time of the invasion of Iraq, when again, the CNN on all of these groups were selling us the war in Iraq. We were sold a disaster, hook, line, and sinker, based on faulty intelligence, basically the same degree of intelligence, supposedly, that they're prefacing their claim about Russia on right now. Of course, regarding Russia hacking the elections or influencing the elections. Even Obama himself, who would love to fearmonger for days or weeks at a time and talk about how evil Putin is and how he's responsible for everyone who disapproves of his own domestic policy. Even he had to come out and say, no, the Russians didn't hack the election. They're influencing it through fake news. Well, that's a little bit different from what these other retards were claiming. To hear the CIA's, unnamed sources speak, you'd think that they actually cracked the ballot boxes open. And that Natasha and Ivan dragged them off and filled them with fake ballots or something, and that's how Trump won. That's honestly the way they made it sound. That's certainly what the media was reporting as though it was. We now find out that it's just the same tired claim as before. Oh, yeah, they influenced the election by fake news. That's why we need to crack down on it. Well, so to hell with that. That's a bunch of nonsense. People either believe what they read or they don't. They should be taking everything with a grain of salt. That includes underground news sources. You think that I read something from some non-MSM source and I immediately assume that it's completely true? It took, 5 minutes to research this and figure out that this was a lie. It doesn't even take that much effort. Oftentimes, because we're in the social media era, you have primary material. You have an actual video of what some politician said, uncut, unedited. Or you have pictures of something that happened. Or you have a full text readout of something that happened. Or an audio clip or something like that. You don't need to automatically trust the media. That includes the underground media, yes. I'm not saying some of this crap isn't fake news in the most literal sense. But if I want to find fake news, generally I go to CNN. If I want to find stuff that's outright wrong, that's so obviously wrong that if it were actually challenged by a true, unbiased, fact-checking group, it would be found to be utter falsity, I go to the legacy media. It would even be difficult to dig up that much crap on something like InfoWars. You would be better off, you'd be more informed about the world if you listen to outright conspiracy mongers at certain points than listening to CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and these other tired old dying corporate legacy media outlets. That's how stupid they really are. They have to pay someone 7 figures to be semi-charismatic and stand up there on camera and act as though the stuff they're reading off a teleprompter isn't complete fantasy. They have to be able to say it with a straight face. I couldn't do their job. In retrospect, I've said before, oh yeah, pay me like $10 and I could do their job for an hour. Well, in a way I couldn't, because I don't think I could keep a straight face having to report on the crap that they report on. Because so much of it is so obviously wrong, it'd be humorous. It'd be a joke. It's a joke. CNN's a joke. Fox is a joke. MSNBC, ABC, all these groups are jokes. Yahoo News is a joke at this point. They've been bought out too. RT is a joke, honestly. If you're talking about the U.S., RT will tell you, yeah, the evil Illuminati masters of the United States are going to throw you in a FEMA camp. And then you look at their reporting on Russia. Oh, great glorious Vladimir Putin, through his magical skills, has ensured a record radish crop or something like that. It's the same shit, different asshole. But at least they're willing to criticize the government we have to suffer under here. It's the same as, by the way, our media generally criticizing the Russian state. That's fine. But when you drag that foreign group that you're fairly, in some cases, criticizing, overlap it onto your domestic policy and say they fucked around with the election, so this domestic politician is beyond all blame, don't read the actual leaked emails involved with Hillary Clinton because it was ma Putin, ma evil Russians. Like you can't get your tiny dick up, so it must have been Russian fluoridation. That's when it becomes a problem. I had to point that out to the people on Salon. Some idiot there saying, ooh, Russian troll account alert, when you criticize the stories that are posted up there. This has become a perennial sort of facet. It's a weird sort of obsession by some of their readers. Sometimes it's hard to tell whether it's a shill or a bot or whether it's someone who's just delusional. But I have a feeling that these people have like tiny shrunken penises or something because they blame Russia for it. Oh, Russia's why my Viagra didn't work. It must have been a Russian knockoff. Russia's why my car didn't start this morning. Russia's why I lost my wife and job. You know, just ignore the fact that I become a violent shitfuck when I drink too much. Russia's responsible for all of our fucking problems. That's what they're talking about. And then you have this crap. Trump pointing out that the legacy media mistreated his supporters. They did, whenever he held a fucking rally. And all of a sudden, oh, it's Trump. He's calling his supporters violent and evil and cruel and vicious and so forth. No, he's not. It's false. It's a fantasy. It's a mythology that they've spun. Unfortunately, some people will see this and take it seriously because they don't have critical thinking skills. They won't look any deeper. Oh, I read it on CNN. It must be true. Oh, I saw it on Time. Must be real. No, it's not. It's an outright fakery. It's a pants-on-fire moment. If it were actually going to be fact-checked. But, haha, all those fact-checking firms that Facebook is trying to partner with, they like Clinton. They don't really like Trump. So you can expect a lie by omission. They just won't touch the story. If they had to fact-check it at all, they'd find it to be a total lie. They just won't fact-check it. That's how you lie when you're a fact-checker. You omit fact-checking something that is blatantly false if it would be perceived as harmful to the groups that you like. You fact-check only things that are false when some imaginary other side happens to talk about them. See, it's an easy trick. It's just a sampling bias. That's all it is. A statistical anomaly. That's all they have to do. So yeah, this is a bunch of bullcrap. That's not what Trump's saying at all. You can look up the original rally. You'll see it for yourself. This takes the cake as far as post-election fakery goes. It's worse than just the general witch hunt of fake news in general. It's worse than the, oh, my Russia, they're responsible for everything sort of stuff. It's like, I just think of some fucking 10,000-pound idiot sitting around in bed with his tumbler and rambling and sitting there chortling through his 10th Twinkie of the hour. Oh, Trump is such an evil fucking bigot, Nazi racist, and I'm gonna stop him with my blog posts, or something like that. Or some militant vegan fucking Tumblrite nut with pink hair and glasses that don't have any lenses in them, doing the same thing. Oh, I'm so triggered by Donald Trump, you're gonna stop him. Here, I better send a tip into CNN with this edited footage here. And of course, they're too fucking retarded to fact check it anyway. They can't even tell if it's edited footage. They'll slap it up there long before they fact check it. It's hilarious how these people operate. It'd be so easy to manipulate them, too. Just a tip for those of you who happen to support political ideologies other than neoliberalism. It's real fucking easy to manipulate these dunces. Real fucking easy. People used to do that in a totally decentralized manner back in the last election. People used to fuck around with Fox and CNN's live polling and get them to, they would force them to mention on air, live to people, oh yeah, Ron Paul won this poll. Where do you think some of his support came from? People who wouldn't have known about Ron Paul but Googled him after they saw the polling results on the legacy media. This is what they're really afraid of. They're really afraid of grassroots effort to fuck with their news services. Good, I hope somebody does. They kind of deserve it. You do what they do every day a lot cheaper. Again, as long as you can find people who are willing to lie to your face and they won't crack a smile. I would. I mean, it'd be so funny. I'd be live on air. I'd be losing it trying to chew my tongue off just to stop myself from chortling over and over. Apparently, they do a pretty good job. Bill O'Reilly and Rachel Maddow. They're pretty good at lying. Really good at doing it without showing the fact that they are and how funny it is to them that they're getting paid so much money. And all they are really is just a fiction storyteller. It's what the media has devolved into. That's about all. Peace out.